All right. What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream from the Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur YouTube channel. First and foremost, before we get going, if you're new to the channel and tuning in for the first time, we'd love to add you to this awesome community. Definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below and checking out our group chat. It's through Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, you can download it for any smartphone. It's free to join. I don't charge for anything associated with this channel, and it's super easy to sign up. That link should be one of the first links down there in the description box. There's almost 80 of us, like 70 to 80 of us in there now. So again, just awesome to see the community grow day by day, week by week, month by month. Been a few days. Hopefully you guys have been having a good week. I don't think we went live since the Sunday stock watch, and it is now Thursday, April 4th, for those that will be seeing this video after it uploads. And I actually purchased, before we get going, because I always like to give everyone an update, for those that aren't in Discord, we purchased just a very small position, $100 essentially worth of shares of TVIX. So about we bought 4 shares of TVIX at $25.09. Looks like it pretty much hasn't moved since I bought it. It's right around $25.10. Reason being, you're probably wondering, well, why'd you do that? So now obviously it's went through a split, over the last, I forget when exactly TVIX went through it, but I remember it was somewhere around the beginning of the year, if I recall, maybe even earlier. But so don't think about TVIX going up to 86. It's not going to happen. But every time over the last multiple weeks, but we'll just look at the 20-day chart even, every time we got down kind of around this $24 to $25 mark, if you go back over the last probably month, 1 to 3 months essentially since the beginning of the year, every time this has come down around $24 to $25, kind of in this range, we tend to have a little bit of volatility increase within the market. And I seen that a day or two ago. We were hovering right around 25 to 24, and I think I mentioned this in Discord as well. I was like, okay, TVIX is starting to get a little attractive here. The market overall has now been up at that time 3, 4, 5 days in a row. And then again, market was up. Obviously, if we go look at SPY, market was up again today. So overall, I mean, I'm still short-term bullish on the market. I do think overall the market's going to hit, from S&P 500 standpoint, I think we're going to hit around 3,000 before we have the big flush, our first correction of the year, so to speak. But either way, I mean, it's been up essentially for over a week now. So I was like, I would not be surprised if one of the next couple trading sessions, volatility goes up a little bit. So for that reason, I went ahead and hopped in just a few shares of TVIX. I'm not planning on making any big returns or anything. My target sell somewhere around $28. So I mean, I have 4 shares. That'd be roughly $3 profit. So I mean, you're only talking $10 to $15 of profit. And if this decides to retest 24, if it goes under 24, then at that point I'll go ahead and cut losses. So I'm looking at a $12 profit. Like I said, really small profit, but I'm looking at a $12 profit versus a $4 loss ratio. So I mean, it's a pretty good ratio, like a 3 to 1, so to speak, or more if it goes higher, of course. But I mean, if it goes to 24, I'll go ahead and cut the losses probably. So like 20, pretty much once it hits 24, I'll go ahead and cut the losses. We had some shares of DWT. I think I mentioned that on the Sunday stock watch, possibly, that I was going to get in that. I had a horrible experience with that. Every time I short oil, I don't really tend to do well. It seems like I always time it at the worst time. You guys that were on Discord know, I think I might have even been live on here whenever I bought the shares. I think it was about a week ago now. I bought the shares right around $670 or something like that. And then obviously it continued to drop, and coincidentally, as I was going to put my stop loss in on the day where DWT had a huge flush, I think DWT went down like 5 or 10% on this specific day, and I was going to set a stop loss while I was at work, and I was out in the middle of nowhere, had no service, could not even pull up TD Ameritrade, couldn't pull up Robinhood, nothing was loading. I couldn't even make a phone call or send a text out where I was there for about an hour or two, and literally within an hour or two, DWT had dropped like 4 or 5% already. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and wait on it. I'll wait for a little bounce, and then once it comes back up just a little, I'll go ahead and cut the losses. It never did, so I ended up selling. I think I lost about $30 on that trade. At one point, it was down quite a bit more, so the fact that I only lost 30 on it when it was right around 50, I think, wasn't really too bad, but I did have a much bigger loss than I really wanted to on that position, thanks to, again, job screwing me on some money, but is what it is. Sometimes I should have set that before the trading session even happened, so that's my fault at the end of the day. Yeah, other than that, with TVIX, that's the only thing we really took a position on. We can go over to the portfolio really quickly. You can see overall in the day we're up $33 to $34. And you can see here, start the day, only thing I was holding to start the day was my AG&C shares, of course, my dividend payments that they send every month, $5 to $6 a month, just money. That one I'm still holding, like I said. I think we're always pretty much right around break even on that. So I mean, like right now we're up total $1.74. They're gonna pay me a $5.40 dividend payment here on the 9th, so that's awesome. I'll probably sell the shares at that point and then rebuy before the ex-dividend date again. But you're probably wondering, okay, so what happened here where I was down $27 on the day, down 30 on that specific position, and then how did this happen? How did I go from down 30 to up 30, $60 swing? So we'll go over to notifications and so you can see the exact loss. For some reason it's not loading everything. These are actually really old notifications. Let's go into the account. We'll go into the history. So yeah, like I said, dividend payment. It always says stock from Robinhood pending. Don't understand why, because I never get that stock. So like I said, we did the TVIX. I was gonna short Apple overnight. Had to log in, and this was like last 10 seconds of the market open. And I was doing it on my laptop, which I hadn't been signed in for a while, so they made me re-sign in, and the amount of time it took them to sign me in, bell rang, order didn't get filled, so I just canceled it. So as you can see here, we bought these 4/12, which means April 12th is when the expiration date is, pretty much a weekly option on SPY. So you can see we bought them at 84 cents a share and we sold them at 87, which pretty much means $84 per contract, and we sold them for $87 per contract. And if I would have held out, I actually would have made, pretty much if I'd held these throughout the day, I would have made another $14 per share per contract, which is $140. Obviously I missed out on. I don't really care at the end of the day because I like just getting in and out of these very quickly, of course, and just making my money and moving on with my day, especially when I'm at the job and everything. I'm just looking at very short term. So if we go over to SPY, we can see here again, the way I do this is I just look at my minute chart and I'm watching my RSI very, very closely. So anytime I see RSIs heavily oversold and I see, so we zoom in here because you'll see exactly where I got in. Let's look at the exact time. So I got in this one at, we'll see here, 10:33 a.m. Eastern, so 9:33 is what it's going to show on the chart, right after pretty much an hour market open. So you can see I bought on this candle, almost perfect timing really. I always look, because a lot of times you'll see that the market will kind of, like SPY, will go oversold, but then it'll kind of do a fake bounce back, and that's what I always be careful of. So like you can kind of see the same thing right here. It went up shortly on this 1 minute wick, and then bam, it came right back down and it kept going down. So I always like to kind of hesitate at first. Like I almost bought in on this one, and I'm really glad I didn't, obviously, because it kept going down at that point. But I went ahead and bought on this minute candle right here at 9:33, 9:34 a.m. It did go down slightly a little bit further. That was where I was obviously down $30. I was down $3 essentially times 10 contracts. So I was down $30. And then I sold it. I actually sold a little bit too early. Obviously, I sold it less than 10 minutes later, or 11 minutes later for 87. And it was about I forget the exact profit on that. Let's calculate it real quick. I think it was like 4% again, but and I say again because I'm going to show you guys another trade I did yesterday, which was pretty much identical. So we had, or here, let's just keep it in dollars. $3 of profit divided by 84. That one was 3.5%. So that one really wasn't even that big of a profit. But again, it was 3.5% profit made. I made $30 in 10-11 minutes. I won't complain about that. It wasn't a big position size or anything. Less than a third of my total account. I just wanted to get in and out. I was, again, at work. I have stuff to do. I can't be sitting there wondering about my trades and whatnot. So that was pretty much how I did it. So if we go look at the 10, which will be 9:44 a.m., you can see, why did I go ahead and sell it at 9:44? Again, I was getting busy and I seen this candle up. Now, it should have been an indicator to me when I seen this candle up that we were probably going to keep going higher, but I remember looking at the SMA, and I don't have the 8 and the 8 EMA and the 34, I believe is what I have on my phone. I don't have that pulled up here right now. I have the 12 EMA right now. But if I remember right, it was either the 8 or the 34. I think it is. I use 34, 32, something like that. EMA that looked like it was potentially going to reject right here. So I just went ahead, took the profit, moved on. Obviously, at this point, I looked at it literally whenever I was able to, and if I had held, I would have literally tripled my profit in this amount of time. So I mean, it does suck to see that, yeah, instead of $30, I could have made 90, but just always keep things in perspective. I will never complain about making 3.5%, 4% on a trade in literally 10, 11 minutes. I mean, think about it. If you have a $25,000 account, you could literally, I mean, you can see just how little of a movement there was. It only took I didn't even hold it all the way through this minute, by the way. I thought we were going to get stopped out like right here. I thought it was going to get rejected and go lower, in all honesty. We pretty much had like a 20-30 cent move, and I made 3%. So from actual SPY percentage standpoint, again, a 0.1% move to the upside equaled to a 3 to 4% move in the options price. So again, that was a weekly. I'm doing those weeklies instead of those dailies that I was doing, or not daily, but like every other day, because obviously when you go look and trade SPY, they have contracts that expire on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And what I have been doing trading these options is going to the next closest expiration. The problem with those is literally you need it to go your way within minutes, usually hour probably at the most, or else just the theta and everything else working against you will burn up those option prices within a few hours, because literally you gotta think they're going to expire usually within 1 day, 2 days at the most, because like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you buy a Wednesday option on Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning, it's gonna expire literally within a day. So I mean, they burn up quickly. And so what I'm doing now is just going back to doing the weeklies. The weeklies buy you a little bit more time. It's not necessarily, again, that I plan on holding them overnight or I plan on holding them all day or anything like that. I'm still getting out of them fairly quickly. But if we go back to the option that I was going to tell you guys about, also, we can scroll down here. This is it right here, actually. So you can see we bought 10 contracts. This was yesterday's trade. We bought 10 contracts at $1.17. We did that at $1.53, and we sold them about half an hour or so later for $1.22. So again, if we do the profit on that, it's $5, which is a $50 profit. I thought it was 40 for some reason, but I guess I got filled at a $50 profit, so that's awesome. But $5 of profit divided by 117. Again, that was a little over it was about a 4.25% profit in about 30 minutes of trading. Again, $50, that was essentially $100 an hour, so to speak, if you're looking at it from an hourly rate standpoint. And if we go back to, I don't know if on our daily chart, if we can go back that far. I don't think we can. But let's go to the 5-day, 5-minute then. And we can just look at it overall for yesterday. So what I did was okay, let's see where I bought in again. I bought in at 12.53, or no, this trade, yeah, okay, never mind. So I bought in at 12.53, so that was right around here, wherever. Again, I saw we were massively oversold. RSI at that point was around like an 18, 19. and I was like, this thing's gonna have some sort of at the minimum, a little dead cat bounce, 20-30 cents more than likely. And I sold at what point again? It was like 1:29 Central Time. So again, I held it for a little bit. I sold it pretty much right at perfect timing. I actually set alerts for this one because I knew I didn't know, but I was like, you know what, this one's gonna, after about 10 minutes, I knew this one was gonna take a little bit to play itself out. I was actually down quite a bit on this position at one point. I almost got stopped out and was gonna have to sell for a loss. But it bounced literally, I think it was $2 per contract before. We bounced, and then it ended up setting off one of my alerts, which told me to go ahead and cover profits, and I did. So that was a $50 profit as well, because I had 10 contracts and we made $5 per position. That was a little bit larger of a position just because the cost, of course, was a little bit more. It was about $30 higher per contract, so that explains why it's roughly $300 higher of a position. And that's about the position size I usually do. Whatever contracts I'm buying, I'm usually buying 10, roughly right around 5, at the max 15. Usually 10 is about my sweet spot, is what I'll buy, no matter the price really. And my price that I usually buy is somewhere around $80 per contract up to about $120. I generally don't do anything over $120. I don't do anything usually no less than $70, but usually the sweet spot's right around $80 to $115-ish usually, which I think anyone can play these options because, like I said, those are not very expensive option prices. I mean, even $117 for one option, if you can make, again, $5 in a few minutes off of a $117 investment, 4.5% return in a few minutes, why wouldn't you go ahead and do that with a smaller account? Now, obviously, if you have an account size where you're only starting with like $500, I wouldn't suggest doing one that's like $100. I would suggest one of those that are closer to $80, just because you want to limit how much of your account you're putting on one trade, of course. So you're probably wondering, well, how can I do that, Griffin? How can I go ahead and decide where's a good price, like what is going to give me that movement, etc. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you guys kind of an example. So we'll go over to trade SPY options. Again, I'm still playing the 412. I'll go ahead and probably push out to the 417, maybe 418. Probably Monday is when I'll go ahead and start playing the 418. But for now, we're still playing the 412s for this week. By the way, I have one more day trade available, of course, because I did one today, I did one yesterday, and I might do one tomorrow. If not, no big deal. But either way, I have one day trade available, and then after that, I won't have any available again until Wednesday. But, so okay, as you can see, the one I purchased, was the 288.50. So again, if I had held this, I sold it at, what was the price? 87. It was 87 cents. So if I had held it, I would have made another $170 on that trade. So I would have made $200 on the day instead of 30. So it does kind of suck whenever you look at it like that. But again, as long as I'm profiting on every single trade, that's all I care about at the end of the day. If I can get a consistent pattern where I'm just covering profit super quickly and I'm cutting the losses even quicker, covering profit isn't my issue at this point. My issue is cutting the losses. Like, I'll almost have some sense of false hope that the trade will somehow rebound, and then I'll end up missing out on the rebound or something. So me personally as a trader, I have to focus more on cutting my losses quicker than I even cover the profit. It's just a matter of equaling things out, equaling out the psychology, all that good stuff. But point being, so what would I be looking at tomorrow? So SPY, for example, let's see, it looks like it's hovering right around 286. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart. Looks like we're right around 287.21 currently, and after hours. So let's say, for example, let's just say these prices don't change at all, which they will. They're going to change by roughly at least 10% just based off theta alone. But let's just say, in theory, these open at these prices tomorrow, and we have SPY hovering right around 287.20. Now, let's say, for example, it had dropped to 287 and our RSI showing oversold, and again, our prices are we're still basing it just off these current prices. What I would probably do, since we're hovering right around 287, is I tend to pick one of these strike prices. They're a bit out of the money, and they're going to move fairly quickly in prices if it goes up or if it goes down as well. So I would probably play this one, the 289 position. That's $2 out of the money. And again, that'd be $94 is what that trade would cost you. So let's say, again, you're trading with a $500 account. A $94 position is going to be just under, what, 20% of your account roughly. I know there's a lot of you starting with like 500 or so. I think it said 18%. Right around 18-19% of your account. Still a little bit hefty a position, but I mean, it's not unmanageable for just a quick day trade. So say what we're betting on is obviously SPY. It comes down to 287, and we're betting, hey, it's probably going to move back up to at least 287. Let's say you think it's going to test 287.30, for example. So you're saying, I'm thinking it's going to move about 30 cents. So again, I'm thinking there's about a tenth to maybe 0.15% of move to the upside. So obviously you need it to do that fairly quickly, and if it does it fairly quickly, you're going to make roughly, probably on that specific trade, about $5 roughly, just based off that 0.1 to 0.15% move to the upside. So I mean, you made $5 in however long it takes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour at the most usually. $5 profit divided by your $94 investment. You made 5.5% in a very short period of time on a quick day trade. It's boring, it's quick, it's simple. Literally, I plan on showing you guys this live if I ever have the chance where, again, I get off super early. Another thing I wanted to mention to you guys, like with this trading and day trading and everything, is once my child is born, I'm going to be taking at least 1 to 2 months off from work. So with that being said, obviously I'll be having stuff to do with my child and whatnot and my new family, but I'm planning on hopping on here when I am in the mood to day trade. I'm going to hop on here and do live stock market streams. My goal is going to be to do one every single day. How long they're going to be, it just depends. But at least you guys will get to see live how these prices move. And this is going to be in August, keep in mind. So I mean, it's still a few months down the road. But and I suggest you guys, I mean, don't play these right off the bat. Kind of just watch the price action. I still do it from time to time. Like the other day, I missed out on over $1,000 worth of profit because I was just sitting there watching. It was what day was it? Go to the 5-day chart. It was one of the most volatile days of the week so far. It was this day right here. So that was yesterday. I thought it was yesterday, but I didn't know for sure. So I was watching the early price action early on in the morning, and I was super tempted to buy. But I was like, we're not really that oversold. I don't want to take a position, but I'm going to watch the price action. And sure enough, it just SPY shot up from there. And this move, literally from 86.38 to about the high of the day, less than 0.5% move, it would have been off of a 10 contract, so $100 per contract of profit. It would have been a little over 1,000 would actually end up being like 1,040 or something. $1,000 of profit is what I missed just by not getting in and just watching. Doesn't matter at the end of the day, but I suggest you guys, before you hop in here, just like kind of keep in the back of your head, say, okay, I would consider hopping in this position. Let me watch how much it goes up or goes down based on SPY's price action for the next half hour or 5 to 10 minutes or whatever the case may be. Like, obviously use your technicals still. Don't just pick a random time of the day. Like, if you're looking at going long on SPY short term, by the way, I don't do this when it comes to overbought. We all know that when it comes to the big up days, I mean, they'll keep SPY up, no matter how overbought it looks. I do this strictly from an oversold standpoint because every time it's oversold, they push it up. Every single day. Every time it goes oversold, it gets pushed up for at least a short amount of time. But, so I would just suggest, like I said, just pick a point. Say you're thinking right here, okay, it's oversold. I would get in this one. Now let me watch how it would play out if I had invested in. And then from there, you'll kind of get a good idea. But like I said, I plan on showing you guys this whenever I'm able to take that 1 to 2 months off of work or longer, maybe. Just depends how much money we have saved up at that point. But I plan on doing this live for you guys whenever I can take that 1 to 2 months off of work. Fired up. Day trade for a living? No. No, I do not. And I will eventually. Mike is glitching. Great. He was doing that a few weeks ago too. I'll have to mess with it after the stream. So I'll probably have to go ahead and wrap the stream up. I don't know why it's doing that again. We were having issues. We had that issue solved. It shows it should be working fine now. Hopefully it got better. I don't know if maybe it was a little bit disconnected. Okay, it's doing better now. Awesome. Sorry about that. Maybe it was, sometimes it gets loose or something too, so it might have been that. But how's it going, by the way? But no, I do not day trade for a living. That is the goal. I don't know if, I think you're new here, Fire W. But no, I don't day trade for a living. Pretty much what I do, I actually work like a full-time job like most people, and I just literally do quick little day trades in and out of SPY options. Sometimes I'll get in like an overnight position. I'll get in some sort of overnight position if I think a stock's gonna, like, if it's massively oversold and it's due to bounce because of earnings or something, stuff like that. But for the most part, what I do is I just do these quick day trades with options, specifically on SPY. I keep saying, I just caught myself, I'm saying a lot. But like today, for example, like I said, this was a super quick trade. Made just a quick $30 in about 10-11 minutes of trading. Like I said, we did this one. We got in at 10:33 a.m. Eastern. We got out at 10:44. Made a quick $30. Why did I get out so fast? I was at a customer's house. I just arrived to a customer's house. I seen I was up. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cover my profit, take my profit, go on, not have to worry about it the whole time that I'm doing this customer's house. So I mean, it's just all about covering the quick profits at the end of the day. But well, welcome by the way. But yeah, that's what I do. And when will I start doing this full time? Whenever my account gets up over $25,000. Right now we're up. Right now we're up right around $3,300 right now. So once I can get my account to 25,000 plus, where I can be day trading, because literally you can do this trade multiple times a day, trading SPY. Go back to the 1 day 1 minute chart to show you exactly where I did this trade today. Where was it? What time was it again? 9:33 a.m. Eastern time, I think. Let's see. See, 9:33. So again, what I wait for, one, I try my hardest to never trade about the first hour of market open, just because the market's doing a lot of this up down, kind of just figuring out where it wants to go for the day. Literally, this was right after an hour that the market was open. I saw we were oversold, so I was watching it closely after about 9:24 a.m. Central Time, which is 10:24 a.m. Eastern. I was watching it very closely once we went oversold right here. Saw we went up, saw that it got rejected pretty hard, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. We had another attempt to go up, failed, and then I was like, okay, we're really oversold right now. I think, and I was looking at the MACD too. I was like, we've had a lot of selling here over the last half hour or so. I was like, we're probably due for some sort of a short-term bounce. Literally at 9:33, right in here, I got in, and then I wrote it up, like I said, till 9:44, I think I said, is when we sold. At 9:44, right here, we sold, and we made 4%, I think, 3.5%, 4% in about 11 minutes. But literally, with a $25,000 account where you can day trade unlimited, as long as you have that $25,000 in the account, you can do this type of trade setup multiple times a day. If I'd seen this one, I would have went ahead and hopped right back in, and Lord knows when I would have gotten out as much as that. I guarantee you, this right here, this would have made you probably 20 to 40%, probably somewhere around 25-30% is what I'm thinking, on some call options, weekly SPY call options, minimum probably. Because like I said, this right here, this little 0.1% of a move, made me 3.5%. This move right here was roughly what? I guess it was only 0.2. So I mean, it probably would have been around, I guess 20% is probably a little bit over exaggerating. I'd probably say around 15% is what this move would have made you right here. So on a $1,000 investment, that would have been a $150 return. And how many minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. You would have made $150 on a $1,000 investment. You can day trade with a cash account, but to trade options, like on Robinhood, you can even day trade with a cash account too. But as far as I know, pretty much every single platform requires you to have a margin account when you're trading options. I know Robinhood does as well. And to trade options, I mean, that's what I'm pretty much talking about, is day trading options. So the only way you can day trade options is having $25,000 in your account. Like, we can go in here and take a look at my account, and it'll show as well that I've had 2 day trades already. It's kind of funny how they won't show me the date. They used to show you the date, so you did the day trades. That way it'd be a lot easier for you to keep up with them. But now it's like they try to hide it from you. But either way, at least you know how much. I just keep track of mine. Like, I know this one was yesterday, this one was today. I might do one tomorrow, who knows. But either way, once I use all my day trades though, I do not trade, like, unless if I'm literally looking at some type of overnight setup where I buy in the after hours and I'm planning on holding through the next day. Like, I did buy a couple shares of TVIX because I just wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a market pullback within the next couple days. I'm not looking at making huge profit on that position, but if I can make 10 to 12, $15 off of that versus the $4 that I'm risking, it's a good risk ratio in my opinion. But I'll never place a trade during like the actual market trading hours unless if I have a day trade available, in case if the trade goes against me and I'm just kind of in oh shit moment and I don't have any day trades to burn. It's happened to me once and it's cost me hundreds of dollars. Once you burn yourself like that, you'll never want to place a trade without a day trade available again. But yes, you're right. You can do day trades with a cash account. You can on Robinhood as well. But as far as I know, every platform requires you to switch to a margin account when you decide to start trading options, Robinhood included. So that part does suck, but the journey to 25K continues, and once my child arrives and whatnot, I'll start putting more cash back into my account again. For the time being, we're pretty much loading up cash. That way we can take roughly 2 to 3 months off of work. And so pretty much I'm not really going to be putting much of anything into this account anymore. I'm kind of just letting it ride, and whatever happens, happens. Pretty much I don't put any more than around $1,000, like $1,000 to $1,200 per position right now, just because I don't, it's obviously never smart to put like all of your account into one position. That's just crazy. Obviously you can make a lot more profit, but you can also lose a lot more money as well. So it's just trying to be pretty smart about the position sizes. I try to never really take more than max around 1/3 of my account into one trade. And a lot of people would still say even that is very risky, but like I said, I'm getting in and out of these trades usually in an hour or less, so it's not really quite that risky. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it's a good trading style. It's just you have to develop a good psychological, like you have to figure out your psychology with trading. Like me, I got the covering profits. Like I have no issue covering profits. My problem is whenever I start to get into losses and I have my stop loss set, once I see that I'm getting close to it, I'm like, well, like I try to make up some kind of reason for why it's come down that fast. Whereas if I just cut the losses quick, I can take that money and make it back plus some even quicker. So I've already figured out what I need to do differently with that. So that's the next step in growing as a trader from my trading perspective. But like I said, I mean, this is a very good trading style overall. So far this week, it's made me $80. We made $50 yesterday doing this trading style, $30 today. we'll see what happens tomorrow if I have the time to. I might even jump on here tomorrow, actually, guys, because I have kind of a gap in my day tomorrow. As you guys know, I mean, I kind of make my day, so to speak, and I have a lot of customers later half of the afternoon, and I have a lot at the first thing in the morning. So, I mean, I might be able to hop on here somewhere around 11 a.m. Eastern time, which would be 10 a.m. Central. Maybe not quite, maybe somewhere around the lunch hour, like 12 a.m. Eastern, 11 Central time, and I'll be able to maybe hop on for an hour or two, and we can go over this trading style live so you guys can kind of see it. I'm probably going to try to do that tomorrow, actually. So for those of you that are tuning in, I don't know how many we got tuning in right now. We got 5 of you tuning in. So I mean, if you guys are available tomorrow around the lunch hour in the East Coast, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 11 a.m. Central, I'm going to try to go live for a little bit. That way we can show these SPY contracts live in trading, because they do move very, very quickly. I actually have a video posted on here from sometime in March where I did this trading style and we made like 7% in just a few minutes doing this trading style. Like I said, I'll go over it just one last time in case if anyone's just tuning in. We usually go out to the next Friday. So right now we're trading the April 12th calls. And what I usually do is I go about $1 to $2 outside of the money. So in this case, we'd be looking at the $94, which equals $94 in options terms, of course, position. And then we usually make somewhere around $5. We usually make $5 to $20 per position that we take. I usually take 10 contracts, so it just 10x's the amount of money you make or lose. Keep that in mind. So for every dollar goes down, you're losing $10. For every dollar goes up, you're going up $10. And that's pretty much how I play it. So, and like I said, if you want, you can go check out that video. I believe it's labeled like live stock market trading. I forget what day in March, but there weren't that many live stock market trading videos in March. So if you just go back and look at those, I think it was like March 1st, maybe something like that. It was a Friday, if I recall. So if you just go back and look at March's calendar, I believe it was March 1st. So yeah, I think it was March 1st. So if you go look at the March 1st live stock market stream, you'd actually see me do this exact trading style live. And if you don't want to do that, like I said, I plan on going live tomorrow for at least probably 30 minutes to an hour. That way you can kind of watch this style live in action. But other than that, yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys did enjoy the live stream so far. If you did, definitely make sure to smash the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And like I said, overall in the day, we ended up about $33, $34. Most of that was made, again, on the SPY option that we held this morning. Made $30 in about 10-12 minutes. So that was awesome stuff. All about just slowly but surely making those profits bigger and bigger and bigger each time. It all just keeps compounding over time. And so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Hopefully maybe you learned a thing or two. And like I said, if you liked it, definitely make sure to smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, Fire W, I don't know if you're still tuning in, but if you're new here, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below and hitting that bell icon. That way you'll be notified whenever we go live. We try to go live a couple times a week at the minimum. Just depends how busy I get with work and life and everything. And we go live pretty much every single Sunday for a Sunday stock watch, where I just kind of give my outlook on what I'm looking out for the week with oil, SPY, the markets overall, and answer any questions or ticker symbols you guys want me to take a look at. But and by the way, we have that Discord group chat that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. That's down in the description box. There's about 70 or 80 of us in there now. That's the easiest way by far to get a hold of me if you have any questions, any tickers you want me to take a look at, anything like that. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making your profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I will see you guys possibly tomorrow. Like I said, I'm planning on going live tomorrow for about 30 minutes to an hour for a live stream. But until then, take it easy, guys.